I think all men ultimately want to be able to have a commanding presence, to enter a room and have everybody's head swivel on a stick, look at you and drink you in, so to speak. And what you lack in height, because I'm not the particularly tallest man, you can certainly make up for in, let's say, presence. And depth and tone is really important in creating that presence to make you feel maybe bigger than how you physically are. So I wanted to discuss 4 theories that allowed me to have that greater depth, presence, and power, and what would you say, an overall improvement in my speaking ability when it came to being more engaging with people. And I will admit, the 4th one is a little bit out there, but there is method in my madness. So number 1 is speaking from your diaphragm. Now this practice will change the depth of your voice immediately. Watching this right now, your voice will get deeper when you change where you place your attention when you are speaking. The question you need to be asking yourself is, where is the sound coming from? Where am I speaking from? Most men typically speak from their chest and from their neck and from their nose area. The consequence of this is a very high-pitched, very constricted way of speaking, a very nasally, irritating way of communicating. And there is an individual that is coming to mind, and as I say this, it's Greg Duchette, I believe. Greg, I love the channel, by the way. No bad blood here, but your voice is incredibly...
Can teach you how to actually train for a powerlifting competition.
Irritating. So what happens here is that you're forcing air through your nose and kind of mouth and neck area, and it constricts, and it sounds very nasally and very high-pitched and very unpleasant on the ear, and you just want to get away. It makes your delivery as well feel very weak, that you're kind of clinging on to conversation as opposed to speaking from a place of strength. So what you want to do, if all the attention is up here in the nose and in the mouth and the neck, you want to bring it lower, deeper into your body. Depth in voice comes from depth in placement of the sound. The resonance needs to become coming lower in your body. You can actually place your hands and just place it underneath your rib cage, and you should feel the sound, the contraction, the attention in this area just underneath your sternum. If you're feeling it up here, if you're speaking from up here, you can see I'm changing the attention of where my voice is coming from, and it's feeling forced, it's feeling weak. It's coming from a place of listen to me. No. Bring it deeper, lower as you can. Even into your balls. Speak into your balls is a good idea. So this is really going to help with your depth, and it's going to help with your bass as well, which is the power behind your voice. And you will notice people seem to listen to you, give you more time in a conversation because there is more power, more depth to your tone. The second is diaphragmatic breathing. So it kind of comes as a consequence of the first point as well. It's bringing more attention and awareness to where the sound is coming from, which is deeply and intrinsically related to your breathing patterns. Again, most people breathe up here. They breathe from their chest, they breathe from their neck. They don't breathe from their diaphragm. That is the muscle that is contracting if you're breathing correctly to allow the expansion of your lungs. Now, if you're finding this difficult, it's because you probably have inflexibility in your transverse abdominis, which is the abdominals that sit behind your rectus abdominals, which is your show muscles, your six-pack. Easy way to do this is vacuums. I don't mean vacuuming the floor, I mean pulling your belly button in towards your spine. That's what you should be doing if you're diaphragmatic breathing correctly, is that when you inhale, the belly button comes out, and then when you exhale, belly button comes in towards the spine. So you can imagine if you're very inflexible there and that's difficult for you to move that belly button in and out without any resistance, that's going to impact the ability of your resonance to drop and the diaphragm to drop deeper into the body, which will allow you to have more bass, more power, more presence. So I suggest you should be meditating anyway, but when you are meditating, focus on your belly button, focus on that movement. It will be difficult, you'll feel some resistance, but the more you do it, the greater flexibility you'll have in your transverse abdominis. And vacuums are also good as well, which is pushing all the air out in your body, and then bringing the belly button as high and up as you can up into your lungs, and that gives you better flexibility. Maybe you've seen some of the bodybuilders like Chris Bumstead practicing his vacuums on the stage. That's what he's doing. Number three is a weird one. It's practice resonating sounds. So I do some form of meditation when I am chanting, when I'm practicing the eternal Om. So that's the Om, Om. And I'm moving my attention of the vibration into different areas of my diaphragm. I'm trying to change the pitch by moving the vibration of the muscles in different parts of my diaphragm. So it's essentially just practicing tone. It's practicing pitch. And I didn't do this directly. I did it indirectly because I'm a keen and avid meditator, as many of you do know. And I like to engage in different forms of meditation, including chanting or mantras as well. And it all starts from just practicing those deep resonating sounds. So just practicing Om, 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 and changing where the attention is coming from. One of my mentors, Elliot Hulse, if anybody remembers him, used to practice bouncing on the balls of his feet while humming, while practicing chanting, to change and break up some of the holding patterns in the abdominals, in the diaphragm, so that your pitch can drop even deeper. So really powerful exercise that you can do that will strengthen your tone and your delivery. So yeah, the last one is the weirdest one, and it's practice talking to yourself. I know how that might appear to other people, and there is a close relationship with being generally mentally unhinged if you are talking to yourself in private. But I have found that practicing speaking how I speak allows me to get better at speaking how I want to be heard. So you have to, here's the key point in this. You have to remember that your speaking is a pattern. How you introduce yourself is a pattern. You don't even think about it. Your brain and your body have developed a shortcut, so you don't have to spend mental energy thinking about how you're going to introduce yourself. So it's a pattern, it's a programming. And how you speak is also a program. So if you naturally have a high-pitched voice, it's because you've learned how to speak that way, especially if your attention is coming up from your neck and from your chest area. So what you should do, and what I do often in the car by myself, or sometimes pacing around my flat, is I'll just speak to myself. I'll speak about what I'm learning, what I want to teach. Even this video, I would have rehearsed, I would have spoken out loud and thought about how I'm going to deliver it. So a good thing that you can do is practice how you introduce yourself. Maybe you say, hello, my name is Michael. I work at so-and-so. And practice that. Practice, how can I get it deeper? How can I say, hello, my name is Michael, from a deep place in my body, instead of, hello, my name is Michael. You know? So it's all a pattern. It's all a program. It's all a habit that you have learned to do because it's easier for you to not spend any mental energy on it. So it takes practice. Practice maybe stories you tell. Practice maybe small talk, you know, what you did on your weekend, what you do as a hobby, what you're going to do next weekend. Practice how you say that in a way that you'd want to be heard. And it works. It works really well. My favorite time to do this is in the car. So when I'm not listening to podcasts or music or audiobooks, I will practice talking to myself and little social cues that I like to integrate into conversation. It's really powerful, guys, really powerful. So talk to yourself and fuck anybody else who says it's weird and who wants to be fucking normal anyway. Right, gentlemen, take what is valuable from this video, discard which is not, and I hope I can see you in the next one, and I'll bring you something else very, very soon. Get that pitch deep, gentlemen, deep as you can. Speak soon.